Hi everybody, I'm Allison. Decided to make a little video for the Solstice Show and Tell fundraiser for the Heron's Wildlife Habitat Project fundraiser. When Jess first asked me to participate in this fundraiser, my initial answer was, oh, like, I'm not an artist, like, what would I do? And Jess just kind of looked at me and was like, what do you mean? Like, you're creative, you make things. And that kind of got me thinking. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how a lot of us don't consider ourselves artists. But I think it was Picasso who said, every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once you grow up. And I think one of the reasons I don't think of myself as an artist is because I have been lucky enough to have always been surrounded by extraordinarily talented artists. I have so many friends who are singers and songwriters, musicians, dancers, painters, illustrators, tattoo artists, graffiti artists, fashion designers. Like, there are so many different kinds of artists, and it's all beautiful and they're all important. But the difference between those people and everyone else is just that they nurtured that creative energy that is innate in all of us. You know, they practiced and they honed their skills and they turned it into, you know, a hobby and then a profession. But whether or not you're a masterful painter or, you know, a great singer, you still have that creative energy, and you can sing and make art. Even if you aren't a masterful artist, you can still tap into that energy. It's very therapeutic, meditative, and just fun to make art. So I brought with me today some examples of ways that I like to nurture my creative energy. And they're all activities that you can do with minimal supplies, at minimal cost, with minimal skill. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about each of them, and maybe encourage you to give one of these activities a try if you don't consider yourself an artist but want to nurture your creative energy. The first one I want to talk about is something that we've all done, we all did as children. It's just coloring. It's so much fun. It's still fun, I promise. You can get fancy coloring books at craft stores for like 10 bucks. You can get less fancy but still very fun coloring books at drugstores for like 4 bucks. Maybe even the dollar store, I'm guessing, has coloring books. You can even print out coloring pages online for free. And then all you need is colored pencils or markers or crayons, whatever you like. I personally like markers. These are just some things that I've colored for fun. You can get these frames at the craft store for $1. Give them to people as gifts. They love it. I spent a lot of time doing this when we were all quarantining. Another thing that I like to do is make hemp jewelry or any kind of jewelry. Again, minimal cost, minimal skill involved. It's really, when it comes down to it, just tying knots. So if you can tie your shoes and have a little bit of patience, you can probably make a necklace or a bracelet. Again, you can get hemp string embroidery thread anywhere, at any store. It's not very expensive. You can get beads. They have all different kinds of beads. Whatever kind of bead you can imagine, you can find. Google it. They sell them on Etsy for like $1 a piece. If you don't like the idea of having like jewelry permanently tied to you, which is like what we used to do a lot as kids with hemp jewelry and friendship bracelets and whatnot, they even sell little clasps so you can take them on and off. This is just an example like of just something simple you can make. This is a very simple stitch. It's just like the same knot over and over again. Put some beads on there, a charm, a clasp. Took me like, you know, maybe an hour or two to make this one. And if you don't know how to do these. I mean, this is like a very old book that I have on the subject, but you can also find tutorials on YouTube. You know, you can learn how to do anything on YouTube. You'll need a pair of scissors too. Didn't mention that. But that's pretty much all you need. Origami is another really fun thing. Ashley is also participating in this fundraiser, so there'll be a video. There was either one before me or after me with Ashley talking about origami. She makes really cool stuff. This is probably the coolest thing that I can make, but it's fun. It only takes a couple minutes to fold it. Literally all you need for origami is paper. You don't even need special paper. They sell origami paper that's like really cool and like all different patterns, and like one side's colored and one side's not. That's great, but you don't need that fancy paper. You can use any paper. A lot of things call for square paper. You can cut any paper into a square paper. So yeah, origami. Give that a try. Tie-dye. Another fun project. A little messier, but really fun. All you need is something white, or it doesn't even necessarily have to be white. Just like a light color, or even if you use like black fabric, you can use bleach instead of dye to get the effect. Literally all you need for tie-dye is something to cover the surface area that you're working on. That's important. But gloves, just to protect your hands from the dye. Whatever you're dyeing, fabric, whether it be a t-shirt or a bandana, a lot of people do like onesies, rubber bands, and dye. You can buy these little bottles at anywhere that sells crafts, usually sells like tie-dye stuff. You can buy individual bottles for like $1 a piece. You just add water, and that's how you make the dye. They also sell all this stuff together in a kit. You could get like a small one for $8, or like a really big one to make a lot of projects for like $20. Super fun. It's kind of like you don't always know what you're gonna get, but you can try for certain things. Like, again, YouTube it if you want to make a certain pattern, like a spiral, like this shirt. There's just a certain way that you fold the shirt into and apply the elastics before applying the dye. You can make stripes, whatever. There are endless possibilities. And then last one is acrylic pouring. I don't have all of the stuff that you would need to show you, but it's pretty much just a blank canvas, cups, acrylic paint, and then there's like a medium that you use called Floetrol. I took a workshop on acrylic pouring with a guy named Devin McLaughlin, who has a studio in Hatch Street Studios. You can check him out. It was really fun, and it's kind of messy, so again, you want to cover your surface area, but and again, you can find the instructions on YouTube, and it's really not that complicated. You just like mix the paint and the cups with this like medium and pour it on your canvas. There are tons of different techniques you can use, and different materials that you can use, and then you end up with like a cool abstract, like flowy painting. And that was really fun. That's like I was trying to create like a really neutral looking thing for my massage room when I made this one, but you can make them like super colorful and use glitter and all different kinds of stuff to make them look however you want. So these are just some ideas, like activities you can do to tap into your creative energy. Everyone's an artist, you're an artist. And I hope that you can just have some fun making some art. And yeah, that's it.